Hello everybody to lesson 22 of HTML Deep Understanding course. In this lesson we'll study ID in HTML. Let's go and see what we have. For example, if I will create here first paragraph, okay, and I will write here, for example, the ID paragraph, okay, and I will define an ID element. So how we define the ID? We will define it like ID, then I will write here the name of the ID, okay, element. Okay, so now we have an ID element. Let's take that ID and create a style for the ID element. So firstly, we should know something. What is the ID and what we use it for? The ID firstly should be unique. So there's no two ID. It shouldn't be, two ID with the same name in the same file. So the ID should be unique. The other point is the ID is case sensitive. Means if you have written ID capital element, it would be different when you write ID with a small element. So you should be carefully when you're dealing with IDs. It's case sensitive, so the capital differs from the small elements. Also, the ID could be used with any HTML elements, whether paragraph, image, body, HTML, href, link, any list, any element of HTML could be used with ID. So what do we use ID for? The ID could be used for bookmarks, which we all know now, and we have studied that before, and I will repeat it now. And for styling, for example, if you need to make a style and control it from the style file, you could create an ID for that element and control its style from another file. For example, here I will create a style tag, which we could create the styles inside it. Then I will call the ID element that we have created. Okay, I will copy and paste, because if I miss any letter, it would be not saved. And I will define the ID. When we call the ID, we call it with the hash. Okay, differently with classes. The classes we call it with dot. So now I could open the parentheses and write here whatever I want. For example, I'll say background color. I will say it's green. Okay, then the color could be white or blue. Yes, or blue violet. This color is great. Okay, so let's refresh and see what we have. Look, the color should be white, for example. This will be great. Now we have the background, which is green, and we have the color is white, which means in this case we have using the ID. If you need to create another element, for example, let's say h2, okay, and inside the h2 I will say ID, and I will say the ID element. Look, here we have an error. So what is the error? The error is say that you have the same ID. So the ID, as we have said, should be unique. No two ID with the same name should be in the same file. So I will create the ID. I will say ID element 2, for example. It's different now. So I will say the header element. Okay, let's save it and see what do we have. If we could create the style for that element, I would say ID element 2. Let's create the background for it with yellow. Background color yellow. Save it and reload it. It's here. So the background is yellow and the element has an ID. So the ID could control the styles of single element. Okay, so it's enough for this lesson. See you in the next. Bye.